Hi everybody, welcome back to Kaelie's Reads. Today I want to show you a couple updates that I did to my spreadsheet. So this first page is gonna look the same. Formula and everything. This is gonna look the same. So reading along TBR looks the same. This is what's gonna look different. So for my DNF, I added questions to the form that I used to fill out my spreadsheet. I have a linked form to this Excel workbook, and it's this formula going from another tab in this workbook. So this is now on. This page is automated. This page is automated. Let me go up to the top so you can see. There we go. This page has always been automated. I just bolded the numbers and I bolded the data over here. So the actual numbers and stuff. This is automated. This page is automated. This page is automated. So DNFs, pause books, ARCs, library savings, and Kindle unlimited savings is all automated now. Oh, and Rex is automated, but because I wanted to create a different form to share with you guys so that you didn't have to see, you didn't have to go through all the different sections for the form that I use for reading along, TBR, and all the other tabs before this one that I use. This one, so you'll see that the formula is a little bit different. It is, equals recommendations dot the shortcut that goes at the end of Excel, so that, and then I believe, and then exclamation point office forms dot table at, and then yeah, so this one is a little bit different because it goes off a different Excel workbook. Because I wanted to share it with you guys. And this is actually one that got recommended to me through the friends' recommendations on Goodreads. I just pulled one off of there to do an example. Here's the form. I do need to add a stipulation for book title. But here's the form. Same color as you guys have seen me fill out. Because you guys have seen me fill out the one that only I have access to. But there are a lot less questions. and everything like that. I need to fix the stipulation on that one. So this one is a whole lot shorter than the one I fill out, because the one I fill out has sections in it for all the different tabs. This one for you guys does not. So let me see if I can get this to be read out loud to you guys. Hold on. 4 options. Real.
Recommend a romance to me. Please recommendations. Recommend a romance to me. Please read instructions. 1. Please tell me the tropes involved. This allows me to search by certain words if I'm in a certain mood. 2. Please do a separate entry for each book. But I also don't need every book in a series. Just give me the first one. When you submit this form, when you submit this recommend a romance to me. Immersive Reader in Microsoft Forms allows you to hear the text of a form title and questions read out loud while.
Okay, let's just do it this way. Here.
Recommendations. Recommend a romance to me. Please read instructions. 1. Please tell me the tropes involved. This allows me to search by certain words if I'm in a certain mood. 2. Please do a separate entry for each book. But I also don't need every book in a series, just give me the first one. 3. Please do not recommend books that are not released yet. Wait until it's out if it is an upcoming release. 4. You can recommend as often as you want, and when I read it, you'll get a shout out if you want one. 5. For questions with checkboxes at the very bottom, there is an option to type for trope, representation, subgenre in the corresponding questions. If I find a new trope, representation, subgenre that I really enjoy and or have fallen in love with, it will be added to the list of pre-checkable options. If you think of any other additions for questions to this form, or any ways I can make this form better, please email me at kaeliesreadsblog@yahoo.com. Finally, please, you don't need to continue to recommend the same book. Once it's in here, it's here forever. I erase all multiple entries to keep the form clean. So, sending a rec in 40 times, as Gimli says, it still only counts as 1. I appreciate every rec I get. I have found some of my favorite books ever this way. Zoxo, Kaelie.
So there's that, and I need to fix some wording and add spaces. Okay. Let me pull up this, and then that, so I can fix this real quick. Put a space there. And let me do this like that. I don't know if this will work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Please add series title as well as book title. Still, don't mind this, you guys. I just need to fix these before I forget. And I need to get rid of this question here. Yes. Because that is not needed because it's redundant. Or, okay. And I'm gonna get rid of this column here. Because that question is deleted. And then let's see if it's not there. So then let me delete that. Okay, so that's how you update the that's how I update the formula or the form and everything else. So if I go back here and click refresh, let me see. Yep, space is there. And then this is keywords is all up to date and good to go. Try that stuff out. Let's see. What am I going to do? Music up here. So, yeah, stop. Yep. Everything is updated with Microsoft. The reason I switched over to Microsoft Forms is there is still one form that is Google related. So let me, or Google Forms. Let me pull that up for you. I'm going to, oh, I don't have it favorited here, but I am going to delete these Okay. And I'm going to pull up another form. And I will show you. Hold on. Because I have done it before. There. That's the one I need. And then I need, that's recommendations. This one. Hold on. Let me go to copy or send a link. Copy link. And this. Paste. Oops. I didn't copy it, that's why. There we go. So, this is the only one of the links in my description, I believe, that is a Google form still. And that is because I didn't feel like transferring this over, because basically with this, it goes into a Google Sheets in this case, but then I have to take your responses and I have to put them into a Word document, and then I have to print them out and laminate them. So, because it was going to be a lot of work either way, I left this one as a Google Sheets. And you guys may have noticed that I stopped doing my TBR game for a little bit. That is because there recently, well, I kind of was in a reading slump, so I didn't do anything book related besides read for fun. And then recently, as of March 14th, yes, yes, as of March 14th, my grandfather on my father's side got really sick and passed away. So I have not felt like recording anything until now. So I may bring the TBR game back. Actually, I will probably bring the TBR game back. I just don't know when I will. So there's what my form looks like for that. Here's the Excel workbook that it goes into. This one, I kept simple. I didn't do pretty colors, I didn't do anything. It's literally just gray headings, white text, and then the boxes are blue. Oh, they turn blue, I believe, when it is filled in. Because originally the headings were dark blue because I created the form linked, and then the form created this Excel workbook when I clicked the button to create one. And it just did a default table setting, and then I changed the colors. So, nothing really, like, pretty, like, in my reading, in my book tracker Excel spreadsheet. And yes, I know my values don't go very far. I will fix that when you guys, I will make sure that the formula goes down further when all these are filled in. As far as the ones that I have to do manually, series, tracker is, well, part of it is automated, like drop downs, I just have to select, and then author is a drop down, ongoing, which I think I should change this to say status. Maybe I'll do that. I need to fix this real quick. Number of books I have to type in. Why is all this getting read books? Okay, let me go over here. Let me click filter, take filters off. There we go. But yeah, I have to fill in number of books, read books, and then I believe unread is a formula. This is a formula. This is a formula along with conditional formatting. This is technically a checkbox, but it is also a formula checkbox, but it's also a formula. This I have to fill out and highlight. I have to copy and paste the title over, and then I'll fill out that. Oh gosh, are you gonna? Okay. And what I mean by the checkboxes are formulas. They're not formulas in their columns where the checkboxes are. So here's the sum of books in series. So it goes up. This setting, this total calculation goes off of this, and then goes off of this column here. This goes off of this column here. This goes off of these two totals here. This goes off of this column here. Same with this one. And this column is based on, this sheet is based off of, so all the columns before, or all the pages before this one, excluding pause books, because that's one I created by myself, is from Novelty Corner. This is Sydney with her books, or Sydney and her books on YouTube. She had her like key for all the different book titles on this page, on the same page as the series tracker. I moved it over so that I had more room, because she creates, and well, I don't know if I think she keeps the same workbook on Google Drive, but she adds new sheets to it every year. I add, for every year she adds a new sheet. So like 2026, she added a new sheet. To her workbook. I don't separate my years. So that's why I moved everything over to a separate page as far as key goes. So I had more boxes, more space, and things to fill in. And then, so each year I have going until 2039, I believe. Yeah, 2039. I have filled in. I have picked different, so some of up until Red in 2028, those are all colors that Sydney had in her workbook when I bought it and downloaded it for for 2025, I believe. Is when she added her first iteration of the series trainer. Just a second. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, that was kind of gross. Um, so if you don't like seeing people blow their nose or anything like that, I'm sorry. It was starting to bug me, and you guys could probably see it. So that is now handled. Whoops. So I took because originally when I started doing this spreadsheet, I originally had it on Google Sheets as well. But Google Sheets started giving me problems where formulas weren't working when I was adding new data in. So I moved it over to Excel. So I just copied everything that she had, and then once I got to 2026, because she had up until 2027 on her 2025 or 2026 worksheet that she put, or Google Sheets that she put on Etsy for you to buy. So I added everything after. So I added all these extra ones, and then there's a few ones. So once I get all the rest of these, once I get these two filled in and go through all the rest of my colors and stuff, I will start over. So I'll make the green as well as, so this dark green as well as red before 2022 will be whatever year when I get to it. So this is italicized. That means I'm rereading it, or I've reread it. If it's italicized, underline is owned. This gray is not released yet. DNF is this dark red. And then haven't read at all. She had it as white, but since I had these two, of course, not colored in and just italicized or underlined, sorry. And I felt like I had too many white boxes for me to tell the difference, to tell the difference what was what. So I put haven't read yet as that color. And then this is also from Sydney. She had maps on hers for the Google Sheet version. I don't, because Excel doesn't allow me to use the formula that she had to get to color code the map how she had it. So this is just a type in. This is also from Sydney, and it's a type in as well. This is one that I made. So this is basically Sydney's series tracker, but for challenges. So I put challenge, so where it says challenges, that's the challenge name. Host, whether it's Goodreads, Storygraph, or an actual blog host, or another blogger hosting it, whether I completed it, it's ongoing, what my goal is, how many I read, how many are unread, and then, but for this one, I did exceeded goal by. So, this formula, I actually had my mom help me with. And then I did the conditional formatting like I did for the percentage on the series tracker. This has no color coding, whatever. So when I'm super low or super behind, so when it's in single, here, let me show you. If I go to manage rules, and I go to edit rule, So percentage, so red is 0. Yellow is 50. And then green is 100 or above. And you'll see that as it gets further out of red, the colors go darker, or they go into like orange here, and then they go into like yellow. So if I click cancel, close. Okay, so I think if I have something that is not, okay, it won't let me show you just by clicking on it. So this one has no conditional formatting. This one does. So let me show you that as well. I want to go to manage rules. Edit rule. So again, this one is 3 color scale. You can do single color, status icon, so you can do data bar, which is single color all the way through, 2 color, 3 color, or icon, status. But I'm gonna leave mine how it is, because I like how it is. So again, the minimum, okay, so if I do this one, should be percent, and then, okay, wait, hold on, let me go back so it doesn't save, and yeah. And then do this, and do maximum value outlet. Maximum value. So I'm figuring out. Okay. So that is why I have that one different than the original, than the first one I showed you. The highest. So then minimum is 0. Midpoint is 50. And then highest point or highest value is what is. So let me see. I want to see if I can change this to, okay. I don't know why that is throwing a thing. So there's how that formula is set up. And then again, these totals go off of goal here. This one goes off of red. This one goes off of those two. And then this one goes off of the finished, which I think this is wrong. So this, let me fix this column, but I want to, yep. So this should start there. There. So then that goes all the way down until that number. Now, I will have to, like with some of these totals and places that have formulas where there is an ending number, like you saw, like with this one, where it goes F2 to 1, to whatever number that is, 148. I will have to change the ending number on these once I get to that point on this page. Same with Series Tracker, which Series Tracker has a lot more leeway to go with the formula than a lot of my other sheets do. Cause, hold on. Okay. Let me see. Where is a formula? So, yep. So then, there we go. Nice thing is, I can just go down to the bottom. Whoops, I forgot my screen was touchscreen for a moment. So I can go down to the very last, click on the little box, or double click on the little box that is little green box here in the bottom right, and it should move it down however many spots. I think it just filled in the rest of the sheet for me. And I know some of these columns have errors in them. They are gonna stay that way until I get to that point and actually put the data in those corresponding with that for you. And there I put all the lines in, so now everything should match, and now my Excel is not responding. So, at least in that workbook it is not. So I showed you this, so I'm gonna close that, because I have a lot of things going here. Or shrink that down. Okay, now my Excel spreadsheet is working. No formulas. No formulas. So, I actually want to check something, and now that I did that. So it moved it down. This isn't a good judgment. Neither is this. So it moved it down to, so it kept this one is not either. So there, the formula is moved. So the formula goes all the way down. I just have to change the ending number now. So once I realize that it's not getting counted, I will go and change the ending number. What? Sorry. I have stuff on my trackpad here that I'm not so sure I like. There we go. So then this goes off of the Novelty Corner's newest iteration. I just added some other things. Like, she did not have I added the TBR page. The TBR page is not from Novelty Corner. She had number statistics in the graphs, which I put my graphs as a protected page. And then she put, because she had all hers as drop down and stuff. She had all of her pages. Some of them had drop downs and stuff. So it went off of the category page. There are some pages like the challenge tracker, I believe, is drop down. I believe. Let me see. Because it is not showing up. Yeah, it should be drop down. And series tracker should be. Series tracker is drop down to some extent. Yep. Series tracker is drop down. But it looks like I need to fix the challenge tracker. So I am gonna show you how to, you're gonna get a little bit of a tutorial within this walkthrough. In certain things, you got one already, how to move the formula down. So for Excel, you want to go to Data, tab, Data Validation. You want to go to make sure that it allows list. And then this is going to be grayed out. You can't change that. Then you want to go to source data validation. And I need challenges. So then I want to go to the categories tab here. Okay. This is actually, okay, cancel. So, this, you want to leave the title alone, is what I want to do. That's going to be a type in for me, or gonna copy and paste. But the host is not. Maybe that's why. Yeah, the host is a drop down. This is a, and then ongoing is a drop down. Which I think I want to change that to be status. So hold on. I need to find somewhere to type it. I'm just gonna type it here. Oh, I can't. Let me just type it here. Then I'll delete it. Okay, hold on. I want to. Okay, hold on. Okay, I just want to. Can't do it there. Here's what I want. Status. And then, okay. So, let me change this to be that. Yeah, that looks better. And then, oh, it's changed over there. So there's that. So it's changed for challenge tracker. Let's change it for series tracker. Whoop. So that is changed. And then there's another thing that I actually do. So I don't have to scroll through all of these series or all these challenges once it gets long enough and big enough that that it takes me a while. So I turn on, you may have saw it when I first showed you this page and then I got rid of it. I turn on filters. So filters basically brings up the arrows. And I don't use it for the rest for all of these columns. I do use it for the up to date and the active. So let me actually show you. So if I go up here, click on the arrow, and I want it to show me all the true series. So this is all the ones that I've clicked the checkbox so it's true. So I've got a total of, it says, I've got, so these are all the ones that I've clicked true in the active column. So all of these are going to be ongoing, but as you'll see, I have way more ongoing than I'm actively reading. So if I clear this, and then I go over here to status, and I click, I want to unselect, and click ongoing. So then, here's all the ones that I have checked, that I have marked as status ongoing. But I'm not actively reading any of these as of right now. Ongoing for me basically means, and for Sydney, it basically means there's more books in the series that are out that we haven't read, that I haven't read yet in my case. Active basically means I'm actively reading through the books that are out, and then when I get through all the books that are out, if I can, when I get through all the books that are out, I will take it off the active reading list. I will check it so it's false, and then put it so that the up to date checkbox is true instead of false. So you'll see that any book, any series that has DNF for completed has a true up to date checkbox, which means it's basically the black checkbox instead of the black outline, because the currently reading goes off of if this is checked or not checked. So if I were to uncheck all the ones that are true, this would be 0. This would be 0. And then if I were to uncheck all the ones that are true, this would be a higher number than what it is right now. So this no. So this would be a higher number because it goes off of the black outlined boxes. This would be 0 because it goes in to the black background with the white check mark is what it goes off of. So false goes off of the outline if you don't use checkboxes in Google Sheets or Excel. It goes off of the boxes that are outlined, and then true goes off of the ones that actually show the check mark. So when I get done with the series that I am actively reading, this will go down. This will go down. So this number will go down. Yeah, down. And this number will go down. and then this number, and then all these numbers will stay the same. So let's go ahead and I will show you. I showed you pretty much how uh the back end of this form, but let me show you how it. You'll notice that I have closed out of the recommendations Excel spreadsheet, and I did that because I had too many things open, too many big files open, that it was not slowing down my computer because this is a brand new computer, but it was causing issues when it came to saving one Excel spreadsheet document. So here's one that I've added. So I want to add this one next. It is not one that is on my want to read. Goodreads want to read shelf. Don't mind these, the shelf, don't mind whether it's green shelf or grayed out shelf and it says want to read or needs to be sorted or whatever. The reason why that is that way is that's how I organize, because I organize my Goodreads by trope. If I don't have time to look through all my books and put them in tropes as I add them to my Goodreads or even my Storygraph profile, I will put them on that shelf for, it's called a shelf on Goodreads or a tag on Storygraph. So I will put them all on that shelf so I can, the needs to be sorted shelf, so I know, hey, these ones have the want to read shelves have the ones on the want to read shelf have trope. Or hey, this one needs a trope added. Now, trope is designated for romance. I read more than just the romance genre. I read thriller. I read a whole bunch of other genres. So if it is not a romance book, it just goes directly on my want to read shelf on both Goodreads and Storybook. So for this one, we need to put in the date of January 14th, 2024. So we're gonna go here, because I'm putting, even though that I didn't recommend these, I'm putting in the date that was recommended. What did I say? January 14th, 2024. Okay, January 14th. Well, getting There we go. January 14th, 2024. Okay. And I'm gonna open this in a new tab and see. Okay. This is no longer a book. So I'm going to change. I'm gonna hit ignore on that one so it disappears. So actually, I need May 1, 2023 for this one. May 1. So we need to go up. So then there is the title. Let me see. Is this a standalone or a series? Because it's not. Okay, standalone. Um, I'm going to add it to that. Scroll down. Make sure. And then okay, so that's good too. And then I want to add Pam Goodwin as the author. Change this one to be that way. And then I'm gonna control B D. B D. There. And for the trope question here, if you don't know the trope off the top of your head, you can put in a, like if it's not a romance book, you can put in a. Which reminds me, I need to go in and change. Because it says we're recommending romance. I don't just, when I started this form on Google Sheets for you guys, I did read just romance. I don't anymore. So you can put NA if there's no romance, or if, like it says in the instructions, just type it in this box here, select this one, because you can select more than one, type it in, and you're good to go. If I can't find it on Kindle Unlimited, put no. If it's not applicable or not associated with Kindle Unlimited in any way, you can put NA, or if you're not sure, put maybe, and I will look into it. you don't have, you can put, this is optional, so that's why there's no star. The ones that are starred are required. You can put your name, or if you don't want your name out there, you can put your social media handle. In this case, I'm gonna put Heather, and then I'll put yeah, I'll just put Heather on there. I am not sure which, well, I just put, I'm not sure what representation there is, if any, so I'm gonna put in this. So trope and representation are multiple selection answer questions. This one, since I'm not the one that recommended it to myself, but I'm filling out the form. Since it's from Goodreads, I'm going to put an A there, and then yes. This is just yeah, you can fill out all the stuff, and you can put no, and it will still allow you to submit the question, the form, but just so you are aware, guys, if you do put no, there is a very high chance that it will be deleted because it does not fit the you did not read the instructions, so there's a very high chance that it um does not comply with the instructions. Okay, I didn't fill out, and that's why I made a majority of these questions required, because if you don't fill them out, it will jump you back to them. Let's see. Are you on Kindle Unlimited? Well, you have a Kindle book. Question is, Kindle Unlimited? Looks like no. So, there's that. And the typing questions that have bigger boxes, that just means I checked the option that allows you to write long form answers on those. My answers are pretty short due to the fact that I have limited information. I am going to pull up. Where are you? Okay. Okay. Okay, let me. Looks like I need to pull up my spreadsheet that this goes to. So I'm gonna go to File, Open Recommendations, and I'm just going to, if it will let me, click here, and then I'm going to, nope, not what I need. Okay, get this. There we go. So, we put just it. Okay, I need to rearrange how this is on here. Just one second. So let me go ahead and hit because this is filled in wrong. So let me, whoops, click on the wrong thing. I want to type in Microsoft, type in this, type in view responses, and I need more details. Okay, let me do check individual results. And I need to copy this. I'm going to show you how I fixed that mistake. So let me okay, maybe it's because that is that way. Table design. Okay, wait. Do insert. Where is it? Table. match. So then human design, and I want to do clear, and then I want to select this whole thing, do insert, hold on. So here's how we're gonna fix this, because I think this is what's. So I want to disconnect that. So then it is pulling out. So then what I want to do is go File, and I want to, one, go back, open this, whoops, go File, open this document. Okay, let me close that, go File, and I want to, one, delete that file, yes, open this file. See, that's how it originally looked, and I'm going to delete the ones that I don't need. Which means I don't need this name file, because the name file, the name is put somewhere. It's put here. So I don't need these ones. So I don't need the original A, B, C, D, or E. So I'm gonna click, I just left or right clicked and deleted those. And then I want to do this. So then I want to change this to be the more options, custom. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go. Wrong. Oh, it's because there's a pop-up here. Okay. And let me go over here to data form. And I want to click arrows. Then I want to click more options. Go over here to custom. grab the hex code, copy that, hit enter so it gets rid of that box for me. Click here, and then click this option. Click custom, click file, click paste, click enter, and then what I also need to do is go over here. I'm going to left click and click rename, copy that, form data, and since this comes out of a different workbook, I'm going to do form data, and then I'm going to do RECS for Rex basically stands for, as the shorthand, RECS. If you don't know what that means, it's the shorthand for recommendations. So then what I'm going to do is do this autofit, and I want wrap text, and then I want that. And then I want to get rid of the filters here, because I don't need filters on this, which I don't need to select them all. I just need to select one, and then it gets rid of them all. There we go. And I also need to change the text, or the font names. Need to change the font, because I know that it doesn't really matter, because once it gets into the correct column, it will, once it gets put into my book tracker page, it will do the correct font. But I'm just showing that font. I like how this font looks and is. So now I need to go back, and I need to fix all this stuff. So I'm just gonna start over, and I'll show. So I just did exclamation point, and not exclamation point. I do equal sign, and then I click over, and I click this. I click the first column under, or first box under the header that has data in it, and then I go and I double click on that little box in the corner, and here I'm just going to change everything there. That's how I want that to look. That's how I want that to look. So now I need to get rid of everything but the exclamation, or not exclamation, the equals. So then here's the title. And then I copy that over. And then this is gonna be, once I know this is kind of tedious for you guys to watch, but since I had to fix how certain things look, so pulled the correct data, and I want that, no, that, and I also want this, but I want this to be this way, so fix that. Hold on. Okay. That and that. Nope. That and that. And then this and this. Fix that. Nope. Fix that. And then fix that one. What? Okay. So I also need to fix this to be 10. Thank you. Okay. So let me change this. Change that. Change this. Okay, wait. There we go. And then fix that. There's that. So now subgenre is what I need. So I'm just gonna delete this whole thing. When you're first setting this up, it's pretty much when you're first setting up it. Now, granted, I didn't do all the different colors and all that, but when you're setting it up with formulas and stuff, it's a lot more tedious than just getting it off of from their YouTube videos and links in their description to and using it how they have it set up. They do say you can customize this however you want. You can just use their columns, their sheets as like a basis, which is what I did. But it is kind of a pain in the butt to set this up how you want it. If you want to customize beyond what they have customized for themselves. let me so you're getting a little bit, like I said before, you're getting tutorials within this video. And you want to know how I just automatically got it to go once I selected a box to this back to where the formula was being inputted. That is, I just pressed enter to get it to do that, and it automatically accepted how the formula was. Oop. It makes this go just a little bit quicker. Because I've got everything situated how I want it. And keep in mind, I am no, like, okay, wait. Okay, wait. You'll see that I messed up there. So, how I fix that without having to go back is do this, and then I do V, and it moves everything over. So, you'll see that I messed up there. I need this one. Because the questions don't always match up with how you have them in your questions from the form don't always match up with how you have the columns ordered in your book tracking website unless you specifically do it that way. I did not, so it's a little bit trickier. That's why I use formulas. Hold on. Did I put? No, I did not. Okay. So then I need, so they're recommended by, I need this one there. Then I can do that. So there. And then now I know how I have to keep this, put this column on there, but since it has nothing to do with my data that that goes into the book tracking, spreadsheet, I skipped over that one. This question at the very bottom is just to make sure that you guys have read through the instructions. Which, speaking of, I need to go and change that. Recommend a romance or recommend a romance or other go or to those. Oops. Ignore or more tools. Other books. And then get rid of that space. There. So there. That is good to go. So then refresh. Okay. So now that I've got that fixed, how it should be fixed now. Hold on. Okay. Date is up there. So now that everything is fixed how it should be, let me show you actually how this form is supposed to work. Joys of having forms and everything is you joys of being a YouTuber is, at least for me, I get recommendations from you guys, but when doing spreadsheets and stuff like this, when I record to show you guys is when I catch errors, so please be patient with me when it comes to that stuff. You can also wait 1.3 you can also email me at the email in this form if you catch any problems with it. Like errors and all that stuff. You can email me errors with any of my forms that I have linked for you guys. I'm gonna copy this. Okay, now there's 2. Check this one. And I'm also gonna check an A as well, because that's just a um general, that's just a general, like, trope. I don't know what trope specifically. Okay, here it is. It's enemies to lovers. So I'm gonna add this to be enemies to lovers. So I can uncheck this and see I'm pretty sure I have enemies to lovers. There it is. Whoops. Just be careful when you're clicking stuff and make sure that you don't click a one you don't need to, because it is multi select. We're gonna check that. Oh, I have, which one is this? What is it called? Okay, it is book 3. So I'm going to copy this because I didn't realize it was part of a series. Oh, it's on there already. It is in Kindle Unlimited, so let's do yes. Recommended by. Recommendation was by Heather. Copy. And here is one thing I forgot to say about the multi-select is I have a setting set where you can select at most 4 options for multi-select questions. Um, A/A. Yes. Now, I am going to, I do have, I believe it is this one set where you can go back if you submit it and then realize you made a mistake. After submitting it, you can go back, I believe, and edit. Hold on. Let me go and make sure that I have that option on. Oh, it was on my other Now it's on there. It was on my other, form that I did. The form that only I have access to. Okay. So you may have noticed that I switched a few of these from from um needs to be sorted to want to read. That means I have to go and I have to put them in my, and see, that was automatically populated there. So let me go and do, I want to do wrap text on this one, but I also want to do that as well. So wrap text, and then do, okay. So now I have to go through and add them to my TBR for this column. So I'm going to go and find my, the way I do this without having to, the way I'll do it with your recommendations, since I can't put it all in one form due to, I don't want you guys to have to scroll through however many sections. I'm going to find I went too far. There it is. So here's the start of my TBR questions for my, I am going to, however, have to fix this. So let me copy that, click OK, and fix this whole thing here. So that fixed. Hey, there's that. So that is fixed. So here we are going to do this. So I need, wait, which ones? Where are they? I am going to consult find and make sure that lips on this I'm just gonna copy the whole thing, and then I will show you what I'm gonna do with it. Because I don't think the title will be in there. Okay. Find next. Okay. So it doesn't look like any of these are gonna be on there. So I'm gonna grab this and paste that in there. And I don't think I have the what trope are we missing here? Okay, so I'm just gonna put that in there. So there's that one. And then what we do, okay, I'm going to get rid of this part of it. And I want to, what's wrong? Page. Actually, I don't even need the author copy. Hold on. I want to put, no. I want to put this with that. Okay. Well, so now we can see both spreadsheets. So that's copied over. Paste. And then tab. Okay. This is not wanting to alignment. I want it to be, what is the alignment for this one? Yep. So it is this. The maybe. Okay. So that is gonna be read digitally. This, I'm gonna get rid of that. Yes, it's when I added it to the TBR, but I actually am going to put cells format artifact there. Now that one is shorter than the rest, and I need this one. Okay. And I want to do that. And then do this. This is not lining up how I to. There it goes. And then this, and then this. Okay. So then I want to copy that, paste, done. Size. Okay. And I'm actually gonna grab this and do this and then do this. So then there's that. Parent tags, which is actually gonna be subject right here. And slash a terms not sign no, and then no. So that is how I will add in your entries to the um to the um TBR part of the um of my spreadsheet. So that's how all that will get added in there. I will do the rest. I will input the rest of these off camera. So there's how all that is gonna work. And I will input the rest of my recommendations from Goodreads into, and I can do basically what I just did to input it into the TBR section of this spreadsheet without having to do the form that's specific to this sheet. I can do over here. So if there is a error, nice thing is I will be, since I will be going through and making sure that all these questions, or this question that you read the instructions, all say yes and making sure that all the required ones are filled out. They should be. But making sure that they're all filled out. I will double check spelling. The only thing I won't be able to double check spelling of is your social media handle or your name, because if it is spelled wrong, it won't. If it's a social media handle and it is spelled wrong, it won't pop up on any of the social media that I have. But I will be double checking, of course, title, author, and if you guys forget to put the series in with the title, that's okay. I will double check. That is one of the things I will double check. I will double check author, title, author, subgenre if it's romance. Trope, I'm not too worried about because everybody thinks it's a different trope is the main trope. And then representation, that's based on everybody. Everybody thinks it's different. Your statement, does not get copied over. So I will read through them, but I will not check anything. Basically, anything that I can find online, if it is like title, author, all those things. If I can find it online, I will double check and make sure that the information is correct. And then the information that gets copied over to my TBR and then my recommendation section will get put where it needs to be put. But bye guys, have a nice day.